All right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Been away for a couple of days. Got a lot going on around these parts, but I'm fighting through it. You can see I look kind of beat up here, dealing with all these allergies, and sick kids, and the immune system is constantly under attack around the school system. I just leave it at that. Um, Not a whole lot going on in the sports world. We got the NHL firing back up after the Olympics last night. And, basketball started a couple of days ago. So everything's in full swing around here. You had the Daytona 500. Now, the big thing we got going on now is the NFL Combine. And you got all these guys that you see on TV playing for these big schools. They're all coming together, supposedly, so all the teams can look at them at the same time, lay eyes on them, if you will, to see if this is something that they might want to take a chance on. Well, that's all well and good, except for the fact that there's a big process to all of this. Not only do you have this big combine, but scouts, they go out to individual schools and they work players out individually. And they got tons of film on all these players. So my question is, why is it necessary that we have to have a combine? You telling me that what I did on film is not good enough? And if I come to your combine and if I look just a little bit too small or my bicep is just not what you thought it was, and that overrides everything that I've done on the field. I mean, the size of my bicep has nothing to do with me playing the game. You see on tape if I can play the damn game or not. So why do I need to come to this? Especially since you came to my school several times in pro days. It's just a waste of time, in my opinion. But I like to hear what you guys have to say about that. But when you have this combine, most of the players here, they played on a big level. I think it benefits players that came from smaller schools that the level of play is not necessarily up to par as Division One. So it will help them if you're a Division 2 or 3 player. You got all the size and attributes, and you come and perform well at the combine against these so-called great players, then you can write your own ticket that way. And much in the sense of that, with the lay of the land with the NIL and everything that's going on with the transfer portal, is making high school recruits irrelevant. Now, it's always going to be some level of recruits, but the fringe players that might have got a shot, they're not getting those chances anymore because you have roster limits in college. And because of those roster limits, it's just not a whole lot of opportunities. Why, as a college coach, should I go looking for a replacement from the high school ranks where I can go to the portal and fill it there? So it just let you know that you have to really be top notch coming out of high school. So it would make more sense to me to have a combine for high school athletes more so than it would be for college. The college players all play on the general level. You might be a superstar in New York State in football. They're not viewed the same way as a California or a Texas or a Florida athlete because the teams out there aren't supposed to be that good, right? Well, if you bring that same guy from New York to go against these California guys and Florida guys in the combine, you can see them on the field against each other, and you will have a better idea about what it is you're trying to recruit, especially if you had both those guys on your radar and you see one clearly outperform the other, then it would become a no-brainer. But also going with that, not just the size and weight and all that kind of stuff, it's the level of teams that you play against. You might be all world against a bunch of kids that forced to come out for football because they skipped class a couple of times. The level of play in high school is either have or have nots these days. And a lot of players, especially down in Florida, are all ganging up on the same team. And when you playing against teams that lost all their players, it becomes a mismatch. So in other words, you look to be better than what you really are. So I think in that instance, if you bring all these so-called stars together against players that are unknown from smaller places or from the Midwest somewhere that don't have much fanfare, and I think you would get a better result coming out of a high school combine than you would say an NFL combine. And that's just my opinion on that. I never heard anybody pose that question, but I'm going to pose it. And I think that a high school combine would be great because scholarship opportunities are dwindling. JC, what's going on, man? Kimberly Mendez, how we doing? Um, I ain't been on a couple of days, JC. Got a lot of stuff going on around here. Um, what do you think about the idea of a high school combine? Just something I thought about being around high school athletes, and I see how we were talking yesterday about these athletes. They look on TV and they see all these pro guys, and they got all this top-notch equipment, and they got the white shoes on and all that, spatted up, white gloves on. They can't play a lick, and they think just because they get a hit or two every now and then, they can get a college scholarship. We try to tell them, no scout is going to come here to watch you loaf around, and just because you look good, that doesn't mean that you can play the game. You're just wasting a scout's time. And if I was to get a scout to come watch you, and you turn out to lay an egg, which appears that you just might, then that scout is not coming back anymore. And you're going to get the reputation of a school that they can't produce anything. So unless you got some kind of bona fide athlete, we're not fixing to invite any scouts here. Scout has to find his own way. And the only way that can happen is you produce. And producing is result on the field, not because you look good. And that's the problem that we have with a lot of these young kids coming up. They're blowing a wonderful opportunity. It's like I told you guys before, if I'm an athlete today, I'm working out 3 times every day, including the weekends. I'm working out before the sun comes up. I'm working out when the sun goes down, and I'm going to practice with my team during the day. So I'm going to be ready to play no matter what. Hold on a second. His allergies killing me, man. So I'm going to be ready to go no matter what. And a lot of these guys are blowing that opportunity. And with the money that's floating around, there's no more going to college and having to worry about making the pros. You know, you make it to the college, that's the same thing as what it was when we were trying to make it to the pros. So it's just something to think about. But the combine itself, it's not a bad event. The highlight, of course, for most people, speed. We want to see how fast these guys can run. But as far as the play on the field, you already know who's going to be the top players or who can play and who can't. Question is, can they measure up to the guys that's already in the league? And I think a better way to measure that is take these same guys after you do this circus of height, weight, jumps, and runs and all that. Put him out there on the field with a professional athlete and see how he matches up. And that would be a true picture to me of whether or not this guy deserves a chance to be in the NFL. It kind of reminds me of what's going on in college. This guy for Kansas, I think he's a point guard, Darren Peterson or something. He can't seem to stay on the court. He's not reliable, but they're deeming him as a top 5 pick. So how the hell are you going to be a top 5 pick when you can't even stay on the court in college? College plays a little less than half of what the NBA plays. So if you can't complete a college season, they can't rely on you there. How is it possible that we can think that you can finish an NBA season? Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't make sense, right? Well, the NBA, they got their own logic. They already got you penciled in for maybe 20 games for load management where you're not going to play anyway. And they may send you down to the G League or wherever they may send you. So you're going to miss a lot of time. And even if you get hot one game and you just put up 20, 25 in the first half, they'll pull you. Damnest thing I ever seen. If you're trying to win the game, why would you take a player out that's got over 20 in the first half? Feel like you're cutting your own throat. And once maybe, God maybe if he gets hurt, but you pull him out and say that you plan to do that all along, you have to reinvent your plans if a guy got 20-something points in the first half. You need to let him keep playing. No, 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 no. Not the NBA. Yeah, pull him out and put him on the bench. So I question whether they want to win or not. And then when you come out with this tanking thing, it just validates my viewpoint. Um, why would I spend good money to go watch that? I've heard kids talk. They save up all their money and they're going to go to the Magic game or the Hawks game, and they're going to see their favorite players. Say LeBron coming to town or somebody. And then when they get there, LeBron don't even play. So you put all this shit on the calendar, and you don't even get to see what you thought you was going to see. And when I was coming up, those guys played all the games, man. You knew who was going to be on the court. But not now. So it looked like to me, the more advantage or privilege a player has, the less productivity that they give you. In other words, they're making astronomical money, but they're not putting out astronomical efforts. And that's just the way the society is. It's just backwards like that. But I know one thing. I'm not spending my money on it because just looking at it on TV is hard to watch. So I know damn well I'm not going to go to the arena and watch it and spend all this extra money to do so. I don't want to see it that bad. Not JC, but Selmore, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a while, man. I was on the other day and you didn't come on. And I hadn't been on the last 2 days. I had a project to do on the job that I had to get started, so you get a chance to get on. But glad to see you back. I see you got the combine going, and wanted to talk is the quarterback position at Cleveland and Indianapolis. They got to figure out what they're going to do about that. Now, given the history of some of these NFL teams, a lot of them likely to take another quarterback. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the Browns would have drafted another damn quarterback. Mendoza, he's not going to be there. But I think if Mendoza was there, it wouldn't surprise me at all that they wouldn't pick that guy up. And then you have another log jam in the Browns quarterback room, and they don't know what the hell they want to do with it. But you do got a new coach, so it should be a different outcome from what we've seen the last year or so. But I tell you all along, Deshaun Watson is going to end up the starting quarterback for the Browns on opening day. I guarantee you. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with Sanders. He'll be able to compete, but he's not ready yet. And if it came down to him and Watson, I'm going to take Watson all day. So that's just my opinion on that. So I asked the question, should there be a combine for high school players? And most of you are saying yes, surprisingly. That's just something I just came up with out of the blue. And like I say, with the dwindling scholarships and a lot of athletes aren't being recruited the way they used to be, college teams are filling their voids through the transfer portal. And it's once you get in, you're good, but getting in can be a problem. And I think if you got all these players in the same spot and have them go against each other, then you can see. Because a lot of times, I put it to you this way, you got a band of coaches down in Florida. They send out emissaries to get players for them. And the idea is that we're going to win a state championship. Well, you can win a state championship, but that only benefits the coach. Yeah, it's great to win. What do you really get from it? If you don't have the height and measurements and the attributes that a college is looking for, you're not fixing to get a college scholarship. I don't care if you never lost a game and you got 10 state championships. It's not going to matter. If you can't play on the next level, you can't play. So if the coach gets a bunch of players, he might get better with them. But at the end of the day, if they don't measure up, they're not going to be in college. Coach racks up a gaudy win record. You can go take that and go get another job somewhere else. But you just uprooted and you just bounced around and you're just a vagabond or a gypsy athlete of sorts. And yeah, you won, but what memories do you really have? I mean, I still think that these kids in these small towns that grow up together and they play together all throughout the years and win a championship as their seniors is far more valuable. Hell, even if they lost, it's a far more valuable experience than some all-star team will get together and slap some high school team on their name. They got no connection to that place whatsoever, but they claim state championship. There's no value in that. And unless you have the height measurables, even if you had the height measurables, there's no need to bounce around because those coaches are going to find you anyway. So whether you win a state championship or not is irrelevant. It's only relevant to the coach because it makes him look great. He goes and get a college job or a better job from where he is, and he falls right on his face. It didn't work out for him. Then what does he do? He go back to high school and do the same thing he did to get known in the first place. On a smaller level, think Todd Dodge. Todd Dodge was a great high school coach, but he went to college and found out the other guys they can coach, and you're recruiting or however you got your players is on a far different level. Um, you're on a far different level than everybody else that you played against in high school, but now these guys in college, they're there or above you. So now you got to coach. And if your ass can't coach and you depend strictly on the athlete, it's going to be exposed. And that's what happened to Dodge. He didn't win in college. Went back to high school and started winning again. And just pay attention to some of the things that's going on. Your athlete, your student athlete, is being pimped out by the coach to the highest bidder. And he don't get money, but he gets accolades from their efforts, and maybe he may parlay that into a better job. Even if you get fired somewhere and you go and make $200,000-$300,000 a season for just 2 years, that's far more than what you would have made at high school. So I guess it is an advantage. So pay attention to how these athletes are treated. And I tell you something else, the parents are complicit in a lot of that. They help those coaches pimp their athletes. And I hate to use those terms, but just the way it is, man. Dylan Gabriel would be cut if Watson not ready. So if they do draft a quarterback, it would be a backup. You talking about Watson? You talking about Sanders? Who you talking about, Selmo? I'm telling you, Watson is going to be ready to play, Selmo, and it's going to be Watson, and it's going to be Sanders, and it's going to be Gabriel. I don't think they're going to cut them. They're going to keep all three of those quarterbacks. And I don't think they're going to draft anybody else. Be nice. What's going on, man? Well, you say Wolves are nobody, but I guess we leave it for the or part because it's going to be nobody. I think you guys got a problem, man. Probably for a second there, okay. I don't have to take it down like you. I don't have any. I don't have any right now. Yeah, I think Watson is going to end up being a quarterback, man. That's just the way I think it's going to happen. They're not going to cut. I was talking about D Nice. Well, I appreciate you coming back during the regular season there, D Nice, but you disappeared on us last year after you got eliminated from the playoffs. And I think the same thing's going to happen to you this year. You're just not ready to win a championship yet. You got a problem. All right, I don't think I thought about the combine for a second. Too busy celebrating my Seahawks Super Bowl win. Well, I understand that, Keith, and I have to hit you with the proverbial line because I don't want to rain on your parade. But it's like Wesley Snipes said in White Men Can't Jump, even the sun shines on the dog's ass sometime. So I congratulate the Seahawks for getting a little sunshine, but it ain't going to last long. I still don't think you were the better team. It was just your time to win it. Things bounced your way, but now you got to come back through. What you going to do next year? All right. United Vikings bringing back Kirk Cousins this year. Yeah, but he ain't going to do nothing. They should have kept Sam Bradford. What's his name? Seahawks quarterback. Should have kept him. D Nice for less. His name is D Nice. Yeah, that's him. J.J. McCarthy will need a vet. J.J. McCarthy is not a pro quarterback, and I still can't understand why they drafted him so high. They saw something I didn't see, and then once they drafted him, they see what I saw. So you figure that one out. Can he be a quarterback? Yeah, you can get better and better. But it's like a guy told me in air traffic control school, we don't have 2 years to get you trained. Shit. Either you show aptitude for it or you don't. And right now he's not doing so good. And if defense wins championships all the time, hell, the Vikings would be there too. Sam Darnold, that's his name. Give the kid more time. Yeah, I give him some more time, but shit, how much time are you gonna give him, D Nice? I respect that. That's why I'm still in the process of celebrating this. Yeah, you guys deserve a championship, man. I think that I still don't know what Pete Carroll outsmarted himself that time, even though he probably okayed it. But that offensive call, you got to run the football, man. If nothing else, it takes time off the clock. And for England, sometimes you just get lucky. And they got lucky that night because I don't think they would have stopped that run from scoring with Lynch. But congratulations there, though, good Keith. But our Steelers, we're coming to get that trophy back next year. We've give you guys enough time the last, 15 years since we won one? No, what, 43? 17 years. Yeah, we overdue. We got to get back in the game. But anyway, no, I'm just messing with you. It was a good team. You guys played great football and you deserve to win the championship. You got to get you got to be good, and you also got to get the bounce in the end. You got to put yourself in a position to get that bounce, and they got it. So give them all the credit in the world. All right, I got to get up out of here, man. Got to go sign in. Hey, Frank, tell him again, man. You over here laughing at me, but I tell you what, we got Mike. What's his name? It's early in the morning, man. I can't think. But he's from Pittsburgh. He's going to turn it around. Not a whole lot of different from Tomlin, but hell, if he can manage just to win the game to get me in the playoffs, anything happen. It's just like a heavyweight fight. If I can land the right on your jaw before you catch me, you're going down, man. And we don't care about Baltimore. We just don't care about them. In New England, we already whooped them. We're going to whoop them again next year. So Jacksonville's up and coming, but not really. So Pittsburgh's going to be all right, man. But yeah, I think Selmo, high school players could definitely benefit from a combine, man. And I don't think nobody ever posed that question. But if I ever get my community back and we'll start writing these columns again, and I'm going to put it out there to see what people think about a high school column, a combine. Maybe I should start one myself. But the more I talk, the more I give myself better ideas. Just playing with you. Have a great day. Yeah, I know, man. You guys, wherever you are, man, have a good day, man. Got to go to work. Be back on in the morning unless I get a chance tonight. Got a chance for a big win tonight. If there's opportunity there, if I get me somebody to score the books for me, I might even go live. It should be comical to watch some of the things I see. So tune in about 6 o'clock tonight to see if I can go live with this baseball game. But in the meantime, have a great day wherever you are. And one last check of the poll, 65% of you are saying that there should be a combine for high school players. And I agree. So let's see what we can do to make something like that happen. In the meantime, you guys have a great day. I'm up out of here, man. Again, good Keith. Congratulations to those Seahawks, man. But everybody's shooting for you now.